Hi, I'm Bart Hansen. I'm the owner and lead instructor for CrushLivePoker.com. The following hand comes from our call-in show that we record at 4:45 p.m. Pacific Time every Monday. If you want to call in your hand, check out the instructions in the video description. So let's go over this hand here that you played on Live at the Bike. Game was 25, 50, 100, is that right?
Yeah, 25 to 100 with a $100 ante.
$100 ante. And how deep are you guys effective?
Hold on, I gotta find the start of the hand. I think I'm 28,000. I don't have any like the notes pulled up because you just texted me. Hold on.
28K effective, and
I think.
let me just pull up.
Hold on, I'm doing the reverse math. So 10, 13, 16. I'd say just put like 21,000.
Okay.
Back to 22.
You bet 13K at the end, right? So you can figure it out from there.
10K.
Oh, 10K. Oh, I thought you bet 13K. Okay, so 21K effective. All right.
All right, so how it played out was it folded to the button, who was John.
Yep.
He's a pro in LA.
Yep.
He opened up to 300.
Okay.
It folded to me in the big blind. I have Queen of Diamonds, Jack of Hearts, and then Andy, who was the third blind, he also called.
And so straddle calls. This one's pretty close. I think when I was looking at this, when we started to like sort of look at this in a solver, I had a little bit of this because we're gonna probably do it for top section on Wednesday. I think it's very close to a call here for you. I think it's on the cusp. So button opens, you're in the middle blind with Queen Jack off, and you call, and the straddle also calls. So I think this is actually a pure call here. I think it actually is a pure call. It's probably not quite good enough to 3-bet, or you'd want to do it with the suited hand. So Queen Jack is probably really close. Andy calls behind, so the pot's like what, like 1,000, something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay.
Flop comes out, Jack of Spades, 7 of Clubs, Queen of Spades.
So Queen Jack 7 with 2 spades, you flop top 2.
Yep.
Okay.
I check, Andy checks, and then John bets 400.
Button bets 400. I really don't see any reason why you wouldn't raise here with top 2. I mean, I guess occasionally you could sort of call for balance, protection. The board is kind of wet, and you're going to have some draws here, obviously, too. So
yeah, especially with the way I play, like I raise a lot of draws too.
Yeah.
Especially out of position.
Yeah.
Trying to take the pot down pre.
Yeah.
Or on the flop. So
I assume you check raise.
Yep, I check raise to 1,500.
Andy folds,
and then,
right?
Andy folded.
Yep.
And John calls.
John calls. So the pot is like 4K now.
Yeah.
Okay.
The turn is the 4 of hearts.
Okay. So Queen of Spades, Jack of Spades. Okay, Queen of Spades, Jack of Spades, 7 of Clubs, 4 of Hearts. You have Queen of Diamonds, Jack of Hearts for top 2. You check raise to 1,500 on the flop. John calls. Now the turn's a 4, and you bet 3,000. It's interesting because in this spot, you have about 19K left. So if you bet 3K, you'll have what, like about 15,000 left in your stack, something like that.
It's 14,000. So I'd have 14,650 left.
Okay, so you probably started with about 20K, I would say, right? 300, 15, 45, something like that. So you bet 3,000. Hero bets 3,000.
Yep.
I mean, obviously this is a great card for you, right, on the turn?
Yeah, it's completely over.
I mean, I'd almost rather. I mean, I think you can overbet this turn here too. He's gonna. I mean, the thing is that like, if you come out and bet 5,000 or 6,000 here, your hand still looks like a draw. He's still forced to call with the queen, right? Because it's button versus small blind. He's gonna call with all over pairs. The pot will then be like 13,000, and you'll have even less left. Like you'll probably have, like say for example, you bet 5 or 6 here. let's say you bet 5,000 and he calls, the pot will be 14,000 and you'll have like 13,000 left. Or if you bet six, it's even more and it's even less of a shove. So I can actually even get on board with even a larger bet here because I think you might even supposed to be doing that with draws as well. But okay, you bet 3,000 and the button calls.
Yep, he calls.
Yep. So now the pot is
And then
10,000.
Yep,
Yep.
10,000 exactly. And then the river is the king of clubs.
So the river here.
And I bet, yeah.
So the river here is really interesting here. So you have 14.65 left, right?
Yeah.
Something like that. So about a pot and a half size bet left. The board is jack of spades, seven of clubs, queen of spades. Turn is a four of hearts. You check raise flop, bet turn. River's a king of clubs. And now the question is your hand strong enough to basically make a huge value bet, right? Like, is your hand like you could tell what everybody? What did you do here at the end?
I bet 10,000.
You bet 10,000. I thought you shoved actually.
No, I left all like my 25 chips behind. I put in all my big chips in the 100s, but I left the 25.
Okay. So is your hand strong enough to go for a pot size bet here? Like, are you in a polarizing spot? The thing that I look at here on the surface is that 9-10 gets there, ace-10 gets there. If he's structuring his bets correctly, where he well, I guess ace-10 of clubs, does that... Yeah, I think ace-10 is probably allowed to call a check raise. 9-10 suited
But
gets
that's
there.
full turn.
What's that? Yeah, it would have to fold. Yeah, you're right. It would have to fold turn. I thought that the backdoor came in. It didn't. So, yeah, ace-10 get there. 9-10 gets there. King, queen, pocket kings. And then the question is that, like, will he call off here, with ace-queen, with, like, queen-10? Will he call off here with aces? What was your thought process at the end with the river bet?
I thought he had, like, an ace-queen, aces, type of hand like that, just because of who he is. He's usually on the tighter side.
Yeah.
And he was already down, I think, 35 to 40,000 for the session.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't see him getting, like, two out of line with, like, the middling hand.
Yeah.
So I just figured if I can put him on, like, ace-queen or aces, something like that, then he might tilt call or – because I have a very aggro image on the show. And so it could easily be a bluff because, like, three hands earlier, I triple-barreled with ace-jack, and the guy had king. So it's like I can do it with any two cards. So it's kind of hard to put me on a range.
What? Yeah, but what? I'm just going to ask you, like, if you put yourself in that position and you play the hand this way, what bluffs do you arrive with here at the end that you play as a flat from the middle blind and that's played in this manner?
Most likely spades, I think.
But are you
like my bluff,
but what kind of spades though? Like, I mean, I'm trying to think of like what spades do you arrive with here that's like a pure bluff? Like, are you check raising? I mean, I guess you could have 5-6 of spades, like that's one hand where you check raise out.
Yeah, 8-9.
8-9 of spades, a combo draw. So that's like two specific hands because you run into king X of spades. And how often do you play the nut flush draw this way? A lot of people just flat with the nut flush draw in this spot. I don't know if you turn the nut flush draw here, if you start check raising this as a bluff. If you're not doing a ton of nut flush draw check raises, I feel like you aren't actually left with that many bluffs in this spot. And especially when the king pairs, or excuse me, when the king comes and you might not like bet now like king 10 of spades here as a bet. I don't think you'd bet like king 10 here or like king 9 of spades or some hand that you paired up with your draw at the end. I'm trying to find the bluffs.
Take those back.
Yeah, I'm trying to find the bluffs here that you have. It's a pretty narrow bluffing range. So, 9-10 gets there. Unless you were doing it with like 8-9 of clubs, which would be like a gut shot doing a backdoor, but that's kind of suicide with the ace king out there as a draw. So, I mean, that's what I'm looking at. Like, I didn't think too deeply into this, and like I said, we're going to do the solver work on it and talk about it on top section, but I don't know if you have enough bluffs here to make this thin of a bet. I mean, I had talked to you that I think it's sort of a merge, sort of like dipolar, where people are like, oh, he's polarized here. Is he? And then, but Queen Jack is sort of falls out of that range. You know what I'm saying? I just don't know if you arrive
Yeah.
as with as many bluffs as possibly you might have thought, looking at the actual board. So what ended up happening?
He tanked for a little bit and ended up folding. And then when I reviewed the footage, he had Queen 10 of hearts.
10-8 of spades is another bluff that somebody brought up. 5-6 of spades, 8-9 of spades, 10-8 of spades. So John folds Queen of hearts, 10 of hearts, which is interesting, right? Because you would think that Queen 10 here would be a better candidate to bluff. I would think that any queen here would be a better candidate to bluff catch than, say, like aces. I mean, you do block like nine. He does block like 9-10, but I mean, you're really only going to have like 9-10 suited in that spot where you might have like a fair amount of like queen jack off. If you can call with queen jack off, you have all the queen jacks. So, you know, if he has queen 10 of hearts, then there's only like three combos of like 9-10 suited left. So, it's interesting because like, what does he call with there? You know what I'm saying? Like, what does he call with? Like, is it ace queen because he doesn't block the 10? I feel like queen 10 would be a better call than aces, but any queen, this is just on the surface, but I don't know. Would you call against yourself there?
Yeah, probably. If I had his exact hand, probably.
Yeah.
Just because of the 10. And
Just
because, I mean, there's not many, I'm not thinking my opponent has Queen Jack when I have Queen 10.
yeah. No, it's definitely interesting. And he did tank a long time with it. He definitely tanked a long time with it. So, Taylor, I appreciate the call. Hey guys, if you like what you've seen here, please click on the subscribe button and you'll get notified every time we put up a new video. And if you want to check out crushlivepoker.com for the first month free, use the code YTA200. Click on the link right there.